Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and listen to me very carefully, because tonight, here in President Donald J. Trump's America, something massive just snapped. Not leaked, not rumored, not whispered, snapped. The entire political world is scrambling to cover it up. And for weeks, we've heard these bits and pieces about Mark Kelly, the disobey video, the seditious six, and this growing chaos inside the Pentagon. But what I'm about to show you tonight, this is the moment that everything collapses, the moment that the operation falls apart, the mask comes off, and the missing pieces finally get exposed, because the FBI just uncovered something that changes the entire story. Not a detail, not an opinion, a bombshell. A single discovery that reveals that the disobey video was never an accident, never a misunderstanding, and never just six lawmakers speaking their conscience. No, this was a coordinated psychological operation, professionally scripted, quietly funded, and strategically timed to undermine President Trump's chain of command before he ever issued a single order as commander-in-chief. And now it's blowing up in their faces. In fact, the Pentagon is now preparing to recall authority against a sitting U.S. senator. The FBI is scheduling full interviews with all six lawmakers, and the man at the very center of it all, Mark Kelly, just watched his entire plan, his entire reputation, and his entire political shield just collapse in real time. Because the missing piece the FBI just found, it doesn't just expose the message, it exposes the mastermind, the architect, the handler. And once you understand who actually scripted and designed this operation, you're going to understand why the deep state is panicking, why congressional staffers are lawyering up, and why every single person that's connected to this coordination act of dissent is suddenly running for cover. So tonight we're pulling back the curtain. There's no speculation, no guessing, no theories. This is the truth that they hoped that you would never see. This is the moment that the entire operation falls apart. And by the end of today's video, you're going to understand exactly why they're terrified of what President Trump is about to do next. Hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's break this open from the very beginning, okay? Because the so-called disobey operation wasn't some harmless political statement. This was a coordinated message delivered by six lawmakers with CIA and military pedigrees. They all stared into a camera and basically telling America's troops to question orders before President Trump had even issued any. Now, that alone sent shockwaves through the Pentagon. But what made the country erupt was the timing. A message like this under a new commander-in-chief, this wasn't dissent, it's destabilization. This is the exact language that foreign adversaries use to fracture a chain of command. And so tonight, we know exactly why it imploded. Now, here's where everything flipped upside down. The Pentagon confirmed that it is actively considering recalling Senator Mark Kelly to active duty under Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now, think about how serious this is, okay? Recall authority exists for retired officers who violate military law, not sitting U.S. senators. Nothing like this has ever been contemplated in American history. Pentagon lawyers are calling this the most consequential UCMJ question in decades. Because if a senator can be recalled for encouraging insubordination, every person involved in that video is suddenly standing on legal quicksand, and the ground is starting to crack. And just when the political world thought the Pentagon's move was the peak of this crisis, the FBI dropped a bomb of its own. Federal agents have now scheduled formal interviews with all six lawmakers that are involved in this disobey video. Now, think about what this means. For the first time in American history, sitting members of Congress are being investigated for encouraging insubordination inside the armed forces. Investigators want to know whether this was coordinated messaging, a pre-planned conspiracy, or simply reckless disregard for national security. But either way, whatever it is, this isn't a misunderstanding anymore. This is a criminal probe, and the stakes just skyrocketed. Now, before we move any further, let me just say this real quick because it matters. Your future self will thank you for the decisions that you make today, especially when it comes to your Medicare plan. Chapter helps you to create a future where your Medicare coverage supports your purpose and not fights it. Now, one of our viewers said, it felt like an investment in my future. Now, most people are honoring their own future by calling the phone number at the bottom of your screen or visiting askchapter.org/Ron. That phone number is 909-563-8279. And speaking of viewers, listen to this one. So Corinne Gilliman said, I received a notice that my insurance company was dropping Part D and raising rates. My insurance costs were jumping through the roof. When I heard of Chapter, I called. That was the best phone call I ever made. Chapter saved me over $1,700 a year. If it weren't for Chapter, I'd have no choice at all. Thank you, chapter. You made life a lot easier for me. I love that. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So the real collapse began when the intelligence insiders advising the Trump administration flagged something that no one noticed at first: the production quality, the lighting, the scripting, the pacing, the phrasing. Nothing about this disobey video looked spontaneous. It all looked manufactured, scripted, staged. Now, analysts quickly determined that the messaging was just too precise. It was too synchronized, too polished for 6 lawmakers to have crafted alone. So this is when suspicion shifted toward outside handlers. We're talking about the kind that's used in psychological operations. And behind the scenes, investigators quietly admitted that this wasn't just a video. This was a production, which means someone else was directing the show. And once analysts recognized the video's professional structure, the next question became unavoidable. Who actually coordinated it? Because the more investigators studied the footage, the clearer it became that the lawmakers were reading messaging that they didn't write. Their cadence, their phrasing, even their emotional tone matched patterns used in past intelligence psychology campaigns. And when those patterns were cross-referenced, one connection just kept emerging. Former Brennan-era analysts and propaganda strategists, the same architects that were behind foreign influence campaigns overseas. And that raised the most explosive question of all. If the lawmakers were only the faces, then who was the brain pulling the strings? Investigators then broke down the disobey video using the same SCOP model used to analyze destabilization messaging overseas. And what they found was chilling. Step 1, authority. We're CIA, we're military, trust us. Step 2, the threat. President Trump is dangerous. Step 3, the solution. Disobey. Now, this was textbook psychological operation sequencing, the same structure used to fracture foreign militaries during color revolution attempts. That's when analysts realized that the real target wasn't just the troops, it was the public. Someone wanted the country conditioned to believe Trump's leadership was illegitimate before he ever issued a single order. So just as the investigators were dissecting the video itself, another strange pattern emerged, and this one sent shockwaves through the intelligence community. Billboards started popping up left and right across the country, including right outside of Fort Bragg, telling military members to question orders and stand against unlawful commands. The timing was just too perfect to ignore. Financial analysts traced the funding and found ties to Soros-aligned PACs and nonprofits yet again, the same networks known for strategic influence campaigns overseas. Now, suddenly the question wasn't, was it coordinated? It became, was this synchronized? Because now it looked like a multi-front destabilization push targeting the military and the public simultaneously. And that's exactly when President Trump's administration stepped in and slammed the brakes on the entire operation. Trump ordered both the Pentagon and the FBI to conduct full spectrum investigations, not partial reviews, not some polite inquiries, but complete top-down probes. His advisors made it very clear: if you interfere with the chain of command, you will be held accountable. There are no exceptions, no political immunity, and if you know Trump's history, suing the media, taking on billion-dollar corporations, winning fights nobody thought he'd win, then you would understand exactly what this means. The era of getting away with it, it's over. Trump 2.0 plays for keeps. Now, as the pressure mounted, Mark Kelly tried to get ahead of the fallout with a long, frantic public statement. But instead of calming the storm, he only made it worse. His explanations contradicted earlier comments, his tone sounded defensive, and even retired military officers began publicly questioning his understanding of UCMJ, something that every enlisted member learns on day one. Now, to many observers, Kelly's response didn't look like leadership. It looked like panic. And every attempt that he made to justify the disobey video only raised more questions about what he knew, when he knew it, and who exactly he was protecting. Now, behind the scenes, the fallout inside the military itself, it was explosive. Active duty service members were split. Some were outraged. Some were confused. Many just simply stunned. Retired officers warned that encouraging troops to individually judge illegal orders invites chaos because no military can function when every soldier is a self-appointed legal analyst. Intelligence officers cited a chilling example. Right after Charlie Kirk's assassination earlier this year, a small number of troops openly celebrated online. Now, those same individuals were hearing lawmakers tell them to defy their superiors. Analysts warned this wasn't political rhetoric anymore. It was fuel poured directly onto smoldering embers. Then came the leak that shifted everything. An FBI insider revealed that investigators believe the disobey video, it wasn't simply reckless, it was strategic. The working theory inside the Bureau is that the video was was designed to lay the groundwork for a 2026 impeachment attempt, mirroring the first Trump impeachment that relied on intelligence community whistleblowers. Now, the plan, according to the leak, was to reframe President Trump as issuing illegal orders and then activate insiders to blow the whistle once the narrative had taken hold. As one agent reportedly said, history doesn't repeat unless someone forces it to. Now, once that leak surfaced, the FBI shifted its focus to the communications behind the video. Agents began seeking emails, encrypted messages, and internal memos between the 6 lawmakers and former intelligence officials. Congressional staffers connected to strategic influence organizations suddenly appeared on investigators' radar. The timing of draft scripts, revisions, and shared talking points became critical evidence. The key question wasn't simply who recorded the video. It was who coordinated it. And as names quietly appeared in subpoenas, a picture began to form. This wasn't 6 individuals acting alone. This was a messaging chain, planned, refined, and executed. But the most dangerous discovery came when investigators followed the money. Media production experts estimated the disobey video cost tens of thousands of dollars. Now, this is far beyond what 6 lawmakers would casually fund on their own. So the question became, who paid for it? Financial analysts began tracing transactions from nonprofits, advocacy groups, and political organizations with histories of funding influence operations. Early leads pointed to intermediaries known for obscuring donor identities. Then, suddenly, this was no longer about messaging or politics. It was about money. It was about intent and potentially foreign-influenced funnels. This is where the operation stopped being a theory and it became a crime scene. And so once the funding questions hit Washington, the entire operation began to implode from within. Lawmakers involved in the video, they started distancing themselves, claiming that they were misinterpreted, poorly advised, or caught off guard. Progressive commentators split into civil war, some defending the video, others condemning it as reckless. And inside the Democratic Party, the DNC quietly ordered staff to stop discussing the issue altogether. It was the political equivalent of pulling the fire alarm. Everyone was pointing fingers. Everyone was panicking because now it wasn't about opinions. It was about subpoenas, investigators, and who would be thrown under the bus first. And so as investigators pieced together the timeline, a chilling bigger picture emerged. This wasn't just a rogue video. It was a scripted, coordinated attempt to destabilize the country from within. Analysts concluded that the plan aimed to undermine confidence in military leadership, encourage leaks inside intelligence agencies, pre-frame President Trump as issuing illegal orders, and then ultimately justify a new impeachment push in 2026. In other words, the video wasn't warning America about a crisis, it was creating one. And so as one senior intel put it, the goal was never to protect democracy. The goal was to pre-write a constitutional emergency and then blame Trump for it. But the architects of this operation made one fatal miscalculation. This ain't 2019. This is President Trump's second administration, and he is no longer fighting from the outside. The Trump 2.0 White House sent a very clear message, a very clear signal. There will be no immunity for lawmakers who undermine the chain of command, no tolerance for foreign-funded influence messaging, and no pass for anyone encouraging insurrection inside the military. That message right there sent shockwaves across Washington, and then all of a sudden staffers were lawyering up. Consultants were scrubbing their inboxes, and everyone involved realized the same terrifying truth. The line had been drawn and they just crossed it. And then came the final breakdown. This is the moment that investigators found the missing piece that kind of brought the entire operation down. Digital forensics uncovered matching IP addresses between the video's production team and a former intelligence contractor that was previously tied to psychological influence projects overseas. Financial traces linked to the same individuals. And the language that was used in the script matched patterns from previous destabilization campaigns attributed to the exact same network. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a blueprint. The lawmakers weren't the architects, they were just the mouthpieces. The real mastermind was someone who knew exactly how to weaponize messaging and hide in the shadows until now. And so this brings us to tonight. This is the moment that the entire operation collapses in full view of the American people. The Pentagon's recall threat, the FBI probe, the funding investigation, the mastermind identified, it all points to one undeniable truth. This was bigger, it was deeper, and it was more coordinated than anyone first imagined. But now that the handlers, the financiers, and the script writers have been exposed, accountability is no longer optional. It's inevitable. And as President Trump's administration prepares to move forward, the only question left is this: who else knew? Who else helped? And who else is about to get unmasked? We'll see you next time.